Hello, everybody. How are you? I'm live. Yay. Hey, I'm at my mom and dad's office. Isn't it great that we can take this business wherever we go? I love that about the Tupperware business. And I find the need to be with mom and dad's. And honestly, they are 87 and they need mom. They need me to be there with mom and dad. New medications, just checking things out, making sure everything's okay. And I had Jim come down with some fun bowls. Are you guys so excited about these gorgeous new colors? I so love them. I was going to put them up on the shelves, the empty shelves, because Daddy's getting rid of some of his books. My dad was a minister, and he has books and books and books and books and books. Oh, my goodness, lots of books. And it's so funny. I'm sitting in his office today, and I'm thinking about the fact that Daddy used to go live all the time on the radio. Well, he did radio broadcasts all the time from his office, and here I am sitting in Daddy's office going live. And how funny how the world goes far around and around and around. I am a bit of my daddy, let me tell you. A bit of a preacher girl, but I'm like doing the Tupperware thing today. So you have Foops. You know what Foops is? It's fresh out of parties. And if you've got the Foops disease, or if your date book has Foops disease, or you're thinking, what am I going to do? Where am I going to get more parties? I'm here to help. It's a challenge. I know. It is a challenge. And you know what? We've all been there. Everybody's been there. Every single Tupperware person in the top in the U.S. will tell you there was a time when they had Foops disease, okay? And we got to get rid of it. That's the thing. You can't sit there and get upset about it. It's not going to fix it. You can't sit there and complain about it. Not going to fix it. The only person that can change it is you. You've got to change it. And so, good morning on Saturday. Some of you it's early, some of you it's almost lunchtime. But what we're going to do today is we're going to dig in on how you're going to fix this whole issue of not having parties in your date book. And I want you to think really big. I want you to think, what if I could have as many parties as I want? How many would I have? Would you do 2 parties a week? Would you do 4 parties a week? Would you do 5 parties a week? And I'm not exaggerating. I lived the life of 5 parties a week for years and years and years. There were times when I did 6 and 8 parties a week during big record breaker or big push months. I would do more. And so to me, 2 parties a week is a piece of cake, all right? And 5 parties a week is legit. That's full time to me. And 8 parties a week is you're in power, girl. You go, all right? And so parties is all kinds of parties today. You can do book parties. That's an old term for a party without an actual date. Honestly, I wouldn't do book parties anymore. I would do only Facebook parties or, event parties. So an event party was where they come to a large event for you where you're at to do the party. Maybe it's at your company studio. Maybe you guys do big bingos and things like that. So those kind of parties, it's easy to get 5 and 6 to 8 parties in one week when you're doing a lot of those. I'll never forget one night I had 6 parties in one night. That was a busy night. Thank goodness I took a few extra helpers because it was a very successful night. I sold over $3,000 in like 3 hours. It was pretty awesome. And that was several years ago. And you know what? It was a whole bunch of people that didn't want to have a real in-home party and weren't real committed to having a big party. And so putting them together at one time made it a very successful night for me. How many of you would like to do that? Well, I'm going to teach you how, all right? How many of you would like to have just maybe those 2 parties a week consistently, all the time, all the time, all the time? Well, I will tell you a little bit of it has to do with your mindset. If you believe you can, you can. If you believe you can't, you can't. Whatever you're thinking right now, you're absolutely right. So you're going to have to get over the stinking thinking to get where you want to go if you want to go to the top, all right? And the stinking thinking is something that you can get from people around you. You can get it from yourself thinking that. It's all what you let penetrate. If you believe you can do it, and if you look around you and see other people doing it and say, it's going to be me, then it will. But if you look around and you listen to the naysayers, you're going to believe the naysayers and you're right. So you can't let things penetrate you. You have naysayers around you, or you try once or twice to date a Tupperware party and they say no, guess what? You cannot let that bother you, because if you do, you're never going to the top. You're never going to make 6 figures. You have to let it go. You literally put it right on top of you look at that person that that upset you or didn't date a party, and you look at them, and in your mind, you put them between your fingers right here because you see them out there. So you put them between your fingers right here. You put them up on your shoulder and you flick them off. That's flicking them off in Tupperware, right? You know, you can't let that get to you. The other thing is I want to tell you that I was told years ago, and I'm going to tell you, and I hope someday you tell somebody and you remember where it came from and you say, this lady once told me on a conference call. If you hang around people with the flu, you'll get it. Just telling you. If you want the flu, you hang around people with the flu and you'll get it. If you want the Tupperware Foops disease, hang around people with it and you'll get it. So you've got to get rid of it. You've got to get the vitamins. You've got to get the vaccines. You've got to get rid of the Foops, okay? And so getting rid of the Foops is a lot to do with your solution will be your mindset. Can I do it? Yes, I can. A business decision that, you know what, you're in it to win it. And you know what? A business decision goes a long way to me. I will tell you that as raising children, they were always my first priority. My kids were absolutely my first priority. However, I was working. And if I had a job and I was working 9 to 5 somewhere in an office somewhere, I couldn't just say, I'm not going to work today. I wouldn't do that because my boss would fire me. And I remember over and over and over again thinking to myself, okay, if I were my boss today, I would fire me because I just decided that I'm not working today because so-and-so has a game or so-and-so has this or whatever. And I always said to myself, if I were working 9 to 5 and had a real job, would I go to this? And oftentimes I would say, Pam, you need to suck it up, Buttercup. You need to work this business like a business and not just fold every time somebody wants you somewhere or something. And it doesn't mean I didn't go to my kids' games because I did. Doesn't mean I didn't go to my kids' practices because I did. But I didn't if I could be someplace else making money, I was going to be there making money. Or if I could be someplace else learning to make more money, I was going to be there because that was my job. And my children need to realize that my job was just as important as Daddy's job. And you know, sometimes somebody will say to me, well, I'm not coming to rally tonight because... And rally is where you're going to learn. Whether you're on rally through Zoom or if you're on rally at a meeting in person, you need to be there, okay? Because the more you earn, the more you learn. And I'm not going to go today because it's, you know, it's my son's birthday. And I want to say, oh, really? Did your husband stay home from work today? I don't say it, but I want to. But what kind of mindset are you sending to yourself? And what kind of mindset are you sending to your children? And if you have a daughter, be careful. Because if you're not important and he is important, I don't know. What do you want? Do you want to raise that power woman? Because mommy needs to be important. Mommy's job needs to be important. So think about that. Now, when you're dating parties, if you're taking this business as a real job and you're thinking sincere and this is a career to you, it's going to make a difference for you. In fact, I want you to think about this. I want you to think about if I had a real job, working 9 to 5, and my job was just to get on the phone and date parties. Would I do it and could I do it? Absolutely. So don't think about Tupperware as that your job is to sell Tupperware. Think about your job is to sell the party, okay? Sell the events. Sell the opportunity to get together with a group. You know, the party actually started with Brownie Wise. And it was because she had the bowl, and she had gotten the bowl as a birthday gift, and it was a Wonderlear bowl, not a little that's a bowl. Isn't this such a pretty color? I love it, love it, love it so much. Okay, so she had the bowl, and it started with her because when she had this bowl, she was going door to door selling fuller brushes, taking her bowl with her because she loved it so much, and she had it filled with water. And guess what happened? People wanted to buy the bowl. So she called Earl Tupper and said, hey, can I sell the bowl? And Earl Tupper said, sure, Brownie, sell the bowl. And so Brownie started selling the bowl and sold more bowls than the hardware stores. So she called Earl Tupper and said, hey, Earl, can we take the bowl out of the stores? He said, okay, Brownie, let's take the bowl out of the stores. But what happened is instead of going door to door, like the fuller brushes she was selling, she just couldn't keep up with it. So she had women get together, and so she could tell to all of them at one time, boom, the party's born. So the party is a personal concept. It's an idea of doing personal shopping in the home. And so if I'm going to go to JCPenney's, and which I probably wouldn't go there, but if I were going to get new curtains and I wanted new curtains in my home, new drapes, I would call an interior decorator to come into my home and design what she would think would be best. That's what you are. You are the kitchen designer. You're going to go in the home and design for that hostess and all her friends what's best for them. So you need to elevate the party. In your head, sometimes we think, oh, please have a party. No, don't ever go there again. It's not, please have a party for me. It's, let me do a service for you. Let me come into your home and let me take care of you and your friends and help meet their needs. It is custom designed for you and your friends, so it's going to fit your needs and your friends' needs perfectly. Would you like to do a cooking class? And so I can teach you more information about our amazing products that we have nowadays that are state-of-the-art, scientifically researched and designed to make your life a little easier. Let me tell you something else. People do not buy steak. They buy what steak's going to do for them. Okay, in other words, you don't buy the steak, you buy the sizzle. When you go out to the grocery store and you're thinking, what am I going to make for supper? You're not thinking, oh, I want a steak. You're thinking, I want what's going to do for my family. You know, maybe you're having some friends over and you want to put steaks on the grill. What you're buying is the atmosphere. You're wanting the friends over. You're wanting the steaks on the grill. You're wanting the love that steak's going to send to your family. So they're not going to buy the party. They're going to buy what the party's going to do for their family. They're going to buy the service that you're going to bring in. And so when you change your mindset and you realize that you have a service to offer to people and you think about who's next, you change your ability to date parties because you're not asking for favors. You're asking, can I service you? Can I help you out? How about let me do this for you and your friends? I'll come in and I'll go ahead and bring all the product that your friends are interested in and the best lines that we have to offer. And we'll do a custom design for you and your friends to help them save money and save time and save taste. And you know what? I bet you and your friends are going to love it. And best of all, I'm going to give everybody free Tupperware. I've got all kinds of gadgets and goodies I love to give away. Everybody leaves with their own personal shopping catalog, and I'll help them individually to make sure we're filling their needs. We're going to give you some free gifts for all of this, too, by the way. You know, I have to tell you, I've spent a lot of money at Dillard's, and they never offered me the opportunity to bring some friends in and give me $500 free Tupperware. I would love that. I'd go for $90. Not free Tupperware, $90 in free clothes. I'd be so there, okay? I'd be calling Loretta and Ellen and Manel. I'd be calling all my girlfriends and say, come on, we're going to Dillard's. I'm getting free clothes. You can do it next week and I'll come to yours too. You know what? We offer something amazing. Raise the level of the concept of what you're thinking. You're not begging anybody to have a party for you. You're offering. Offer. Hey, Mary Jo, it's Pam with Tupperware. I'm super excited because I have a really good deal for you and your friends if you want in on it. And wait for the response. Offer. Okay? And so let's think about what can I do if I have no parties? Okay? I have nothing. First of all, you want to make it a habit every day to be offering and offering and offering and offering, okay? Let me just share with something. I used to be scared to death of our quote-unquote business leader. Her name was Jeannie, and I love her, okay? I totally love her, but I was scared of her, okay? Because I was afraid that she would call me and tell me I had to turn in my car or I wasn't doing enough or something like that. I can't even think about the fact that I hope nobody's ever afraid of me, that I just want to help everybody. And honestly, there was no reason for me to be afraid of her other than the fact that she was really, really, really wealthy and she drove a Cadillac and she was just so far out of my league that I just couldn't even, it was just hard for me. You know, I have to tell you, when I got into Tupperware, we were broke. And you couldn't look at us and say we were broke, but I didn't have any self-belief in my own abilities of making this work. I really came in with the intention, I'll just come in and get the kit because I need it for my family and I'll get out. And when I got in, I realized that it was a pretty cool product and I wanted a whole lot more than I thought. And I needed a way to pay for my addiction because now I was addicted to this stuff. And you know what? I thought, you know what? My mommy didn't raise no fool. And there's some people in here making some big bucks and I could maybe make a little bit. And success breeded more success. And it gave me confidence to try a little harder. And then the training kicked in. And I started learning from those who went before me, all kinds of ideas. And I started believing maybe it could be me. And then I started getting braver and braver and braver. And I have to tell you that if you're scared to pick up the phone and you're scared to offer, and I don't want to say ask, I want to say offer. If you're scared to offer, a little bit of me thinks that you're selfish because you are thinking about yourself and you're thinking about, I don't want to be embarrassed. And you're not thinking about your children that need you to offer because they need the money to come in. You're not thinking about the next woman that you're going to motivate because you did it. You're not thinking about the next family that you're going to affect because you succeeded, they can succeed, and they're going to see it in you. And so you need to get rid of that because that's stinking thinking. And every time that you are thinking, I need to make phone calls, but you don't want to get on the phone because you're scared and the phone gets really super heavy all of a sudden, and that little 3-ounce phone all of a sudden weighs 50 pounds, you need to remember Pam thinks you're selfish. It is what it is. And you know what? Somebody said that to me one time. Didn't land so well. But I hope it lands in your heart and you know that you can't be selfish anymore. You got to offer for those around you and for your own family and for the next generation of Tupperware representatives that come into this business, because it's really not very okay to be selfish in Tupperware. Selfish in Tupperware really doesn't live, okay? And the more you give, the more you get. And when I help you, I have 3 fingers coming back at me and my family. And so the more people you help, the more money you make. And that's the coolest thing ever, isn't it? And so what are you going to do when you get this on the phone attitude and you're brave now? And maybe you're working events, maybe you're working on the phone, maybe you are just thinking, I need parties and I have no place to go. First of all, you got to find some place to go. So start looking for vendor events. And vendor events are a really fun place. Now, they're not all taken, so don't tell me they're all taken. You could even find a church that's going to have a bazaar that you can set up some Tupperware and you can go work that bazaar. For me, I like to do bazaars. I love to do the smaller, and I don't sell anything on the table because I want to do, the purpose of me being there is to meet people. And I want to tell you, today's market is different than yesterday's market or years ago's market. And I'm always doing research on what's going on and what's happening because I want to be on the edge. I want to be on the cutting edge all the time of my business. I perfect my skills. I perfect my market all the time. And so let me tell you what today's woman wants. They want you to give them something without them buying anything. I know that sounds awful, but it's true. That's where we're at today. And so the something can be a citrus pillar. It can be a Tupperware brochure. It can be a smidget with a chance to win. Anything like that. But that's what today's market is. Today's market is different than it was years ago because we are so infiltrated with all kinds of party plans out there, all kinds of things going on, and we got to raise the bar a little bit about what we offer. And so personally, I love recipes. And so when I'm doing an vendor event, I'm going to have a lot of recipes, and I'm going to have little recipe cards sitting by different products with my name and phone number on them. And so I can offer recipes to anything that they're looking at that they might be interested in. And so when I'm working a vendor event, I will have several products set up that are state of the art. I like to go with a higher end. And yeah, I still have the salt and pepper shaker. And don't forget your Shapo ball, because the Shapo ball draws people to you because you know they had it. It's an heirloom. It's like tradition. And don't forget, you've got to have bowls, sets of bowls. And right now, our beautiful sets of bowls are perfect, okay? Why? Because we're known for our bowl, and we're known for our airtight seal. And so you've got to have the bowl. You got to have the seal, okay? And so that's very important. But have the grill out there. Have the pressure cooker right now. Have the multi cooker out there. Have recipe cards beside it. And you know, when they walk past your vendor booth, you're going to have like 30 seconds to catch them, okay? 30 seconds, they're walking past, and hopefully you're set up and it looks very clean. Don't make it look cluttered. Make it look airy and fun. Have some signs up there, because why? People walk past and you've got 30 seconds to grab their attention, and a vendor sign they'll read. In other words, you could have a sign up there that says, free parties, ask. Okay, you could have a vendor sign that says, now hiring, are interested, Micro Pro grill for the microwave, interested, and just a question mark. And so be creative with your signs, have fun. I don't have any of those signs made up, so don't ask me for them. I just make it out at the top of my head. You have a typewriter, a computer that you can type on. Yeah. And you can do it. Make them up. Okay. And so make these signs up. And so people walking past are grabbed instantly. Okay. You're the only one working the booth. It's you, a beautiful Tupperware tablecloth, your gorgeous product. Oh, by the way, nothing is flat. You have to have multiple levels. Very important in marketing that you have multiple levels. You can actually work with color, kind of go from color to color to color. If you have, kind of put your color categories together or your departments together. If you go into a Dillard store, you're going to have the women's department, you're going to have the kitchen department, you're going to have the different departments. Even if you go into the kitchen department, you have the fine china, you have the crystal, you have the different departments. Keep your departments together. Think of your display and your marketing as one, okay? And so if you have your fridge smarts all together, you have your modular mates all together. You have your microwave cooking products all together. You might want to have a sign that says free microwave cooking classes offered. And so that you're giving little signs, big signs, medium signs, whatever. It depends on your display and how big your booth is. But signage is going to help pull people in. Okay. The other biggest word that you have working for you is the word Tupperware, by the way. We are the #1 brand name recognition in our company, in our division. Over and over and over and over again in Forbes magazine. We're ranked as the #1 in our division. And so you can go all over the world and you can say Coca-Cola and they'll go, yeah, and Tupperware, and they'll go, yeah, okay? Those are 2 words that are recognized all over the world. And so use the word Tupperware, all right? A tablecloth, the word Tupperware on it. I love what you do. But to me, I need the word Tupperware, the loudest and proudest word, to get that customer to realize, oh, it's the real stuff. It's not the other made or anything that's, have you ever had them come to the booth and says, is this real Tupperware? And you're like, yeah, Jimmy Kimmel, it's real Tupperware, right? And so you got to have that display set up. So it's drawing people to there. It's got to be clean. It's got to be neat. If you're trying to sell a bunch of your old stuff, don't expect to make a lot of money. You're going to sell a little bit. And you know what? It's like give a person a fish and they eat for a day, but teach them to fish and they eat for a lifetime. You go to a vendor event expecting to sell a bunch of stuff and you're going to make $200-$300. But if you would date 2 or 3 parties, you could make $1,000. You could make $2,000. You could find Ellen Lewis and make $35,000 in a year. Thanks, Ellen. I'm kidding. Kidding. Oh, are we having fun today? The fact is where are you going to find your next really rock star? Where are you going to find her? At a craft show, at an event, at a Tupperware party. And so if you don't have your farm team going on, and a farm team is your in-home parties, your events that you're working, you can't expect to bring up the next big players. You see what I'm talking about? Okay. And so now you're at this show and they're walking by. You've got to have those words to say. You've got to be ready, okay? And so I like to call them my one-liners. And my one-liners are things like, hi, have you seen Tupperware lately? Or it might be, hey, giving away free recipes. You want one? Or it might be, have you seen our Tupperware grill for the microwave? It is so cool. You want one? Or it might be, oh, I love to hold the Shape-O ball, especially if I'm working at a children's event. I'm always going to hold the Shape-O ball and hold that Shape-O ball. And when they're walking past you, say, did you have one of these when you were a kid? Just that fun. Or did your kids have this? Or if you say, did your kids have this? They're like, I had that. I'm like, oh, I love our tradition. We sell heirlooms. And when they walk by and say, oh, honey, I have more Tupperware than you do, say, awesome. Thank you for being our customer for so many years. What's your oldest piece of Tupperware? And they'll say 30 years. I just love the fact that we sell heirlooms like that. It makes me feel so good to know that we're selling a product that your family's going to use and pass on from generation to generation. Don't take a negative and let it be negative. Hop it, turn it around and make it feel like they want to be with you now. They want to go ahead and work with you because you've already thanked them. And, be very sincere and look at them straight in the eyes and thank them, because that is truly one of the reasons why we're here today, because of those wonderful customers we've had for years and years and years and generations that have passed our product on. Let me tell you, they love that bowl Grandma gave them, but they also are going to love this bowl with that pretty new color in it. Oh my goodness, does it make my eyes pop? I love that color. Okay, I know I'm crazy. All right, back to the Tupperware party and working that vendor event. When you're working this vendor event, you've got a few seconds to really capture them and to get them to love you. And so getting them to love you is being sincere. It's being kind. It's pulling them over for another reason other than getting their digits, because you want to get their digits, but you're not going to ask yet, okay? And so when they're over and they're looking at the product, you say, oh, let me give you the Tupper tour. We have this new amazing grill. It goes into the microwave and it makes hamburgers, it makes barbecue, amazing chicken in just a few minutes. You're going to love it. Then we also have the pressure cooker, and the pressure cooker makes meals in 30 minutes. Do you love like crock pot meals and home cooked meals and, you know, those warm and fuzzy meals? That's what that makes. And then also, I love this one. This is our multi-cooker, and this is really made for making super healthy food. Like if you want no microwaves to ever touch your food and you want to cook with raw steam, that's your system right there. What interests you most? And let her talk. Let her talk, okay? And don't give them too many options. Just give them a couple things. I always go high end because I want them to want it for free or half price. And I'm not trying to sell anything. I'm doing a vendor show to build my business, right? All right, so I go high end. And then what you're going to do is when she tells you one or the other, say, oh, we could do a cooking class with that. Your friends would love it. You know what? Have you done anything like that lately? I mean, when's the last time you had a Tupperware cooking class? And they're going to say, never. I did a party like 14 years ago or something like that. Say, oh, good. What'd you get free? And you always want to remind them that they got free stuff, because that's another way of you saying, well, if you do this, I'll give you free stuff. Okay. So you didn't say, I'm going to give you free stuff for doing this. You say, oh, really? What'd you get free? And let them tell you, let them talk. They may say, oh, I don't remember. I say, oh, I bet you got a lot of stuff. Well, I love it. I'm really good at doing $1,000 parties, and my hostess gets like $200 worth of free Tupperware. And so this product is $149, and you can get it free plus more, but just by having a cooking class. Now, you can do it in your home, or I do a large cooking event in a studio. And you could say in a hall. We do a large cooking event in a hall. Or you might even say we're doing a bingo next Thursday night. It's a Tupperware bingo where you hear all kinds of information about Tupperware. You get to play bingo and win free Tupperware. Your girlfriends will love it. And it is such and such time. Okay. Now, the other thing is if you're not doing those kind of events and you don't have those kind of events in your area, don't worry about it. There's lots of ways to take this party still. And so you go back to her and say, let me ask you something. If you were to get a couple friends together, would you do it during the day or in the evening? And give her choices and let her get to talking about when she would do it, because you never asked her to have a party yet, right? Never said it. She don't have to say yes. Women don't like to say yes, okay? We've been trained all our lives to say no. And so it's very easy for us to say no. And so don't ask us to say yes, because we're not going to say yes, okay? But if you do the dating waltz where she doesn't even know you're dancing, you can get her in your date book without her ever saying, yes, I want to have a party. And so you say, well, if you were to do a Tupperware party, would you do it? If you were to do a cooking class, would you do it during the evening, or would you do it during the day with your girlfriends that are available during the day? Like the girls that go to the gym and that kind of stuff. Just like a little luncheon. And let her talk. Okay, stop. Okay. And then when she tells you, oh, I'd probably do it in the evening, would you do it during the beginning of the week, or would you prefer a weekend? Let her talk. Don't say anything. This is really crucial. Okay. And she says, oh, probably during the week. Oh, good. I have Thursdays open. I do cooking classes on Thursdays and Tuesdays. Which one of those would be better for you? Let her talk. Don't say anything. She can't say yes or no. She don't want to say yeah. She's not allowed to say yes, and you're not giving her yes and no answers. Okay. And pretty soon what she's going to do, not next Thursday. And then you just simply open up your date book, just like, oh, look, my date book's right here. Crazy. You open up your date book and say, oh, I'm busy next Thursday, but I can fit you in the following Thursday. Just like a doctor's appointment, you're giving a service. You're not asking a favor. When can you fit her in? Okay. Mindset right here. Change it. All right. I have to tell you, to me, it's like I'm offering a tray of diamonds, and I have marquise, and I have spiral cut, I have diamond cut, I have heart-shaped diamonds. Which diamond would you like? So when you raise the value of the party and what you have to give to people, and you realize that you're offering a service, instead of begging people or hoping she's dating a party, you're looking for who you're going to offer the service to, because you've got something great. And so the mindset goes a long way, and the word choices follow that. And you're going to find a different world when you can change your thinking. And I want to tell you, you stay away from the people with the Fuchs disease. And I have to be honest with you. Sometimes we sleep with them. And if your family is not encouraging you, you need to love them anyways, but you need to put oil on your shoulders every morning and all over your body, and so everything slides off. You can't let it penetrate. And I have to share with you, I have lived in this business a very long time. And I have gone through a lot of years of frustration in early years of, I need more parties. Where am I going to get them? And you should just go to get a full-time job, or, quit this or quit Tupperware. And you know what? I had to get the oil on my shoulders because I saw the bigger dream. I saw the bigger vision. And I also will tell you something. I don't resent even your husband for being negative, because I look at it as he doesn't know. He's not aware. He hasn't been to the rally like me. He didn't meet those girls that are making, $7,000 and $8,000 a month working, this business, or 10,000, or he didn't see the convention. He didn't look in the computer and saw that Stephanie Meester made $34,000 in January. He doesn't see the dream. So don't get upset with him. Just put the oil on your shoulders. Rub yourself down every day. And don't let it penetrate. Don't let it in, because you know where you're going and know who you are, and you know who you're going to be, and you know that there's going to be a day when he's going to look at you and say, babe, you did a good job. And you got to live for that. You got to think about it, and you got to get excited about it. So I've taught you how to date parties at a vendor show. I want to tell you what I do when I don't have any parties and I'm offering and I don't have a vendor show. So you could go to, are you getting a lot? I hope you're loving it. Okay, so you can go to, it's 11:32. We got a few more minutes. I'm going to talk, okay? I don't want to go a whole hour, but we'll go for another few minutes. All right, so if you don't have any parties and you don't have a vendor show, I want to share with you that you could make vendor boxes. Okay, they're like, you can buy them at the store, but you don't have to do that. We sell Tupperware, so don't go buy another box, okay? Use a modular make, a modular rec 2 or a modular make square 3, and you make a sign for it, and sign and win, and where they can sign up for your door prize slip. And if they sign your door prize slip, they get to take a gadget. Now you can have straws in there, citrus pillars in there, you can have gadgets in there. I don't give away smidgets ever. They always have to earn smidgets. So you can have these kind of little gadgets in there. It's kind of best if you keep it all the same, like a citrus pillar, and have on that citrus pillar, you can take a business card and you can print these up ahead of time and call me for uses. This is, citrus pillar. I have 101 uses for this. Message me or text me. I'll send it to you. And so you always want to call for action for them to get back with you. And that is actually that business card. You literally, like if this was a citrus pillar, you put a hole in the top and the bottom of the business card and you like thread it through there. So it's on there. So when they sign up your door prize slip, they get to take that. And then there's actually on one side is your information. And it says, I have 101 uses for this citrus pillar. Call me. I'll send it to you, or text me. I'll text it to you. So you could do it that way, or you could, and on the back, it can say, message me for your coupon. And what I've done in that is, they get, well, I'll be honest with you. For that, I usually say they get any item for half price if they schedule from that, and it's really their hostess gift. You get half price items up to 3 with $1,000 party. But most people ignore that and don't see it, so I always used it to date parties. So you know what? Go ahead and schedule today. I'll give you any product in the catalog for half price. Yeah, I will, because you get 3 of them for having a party, up to 3. And usually when you have that Tupperware party, if they're wanting that 3rd item or the 4th item for half price, so what? You had a $1,000 party. Do it, okay? If they had $125, $150 party, $175 party, or, a $400 party, and you need to up 1 extra item for half price, you made money, so spend money, all right? So it's really not going to cost you anything, because usually what they're doing, you're thinking it's costing me 50%. No, it's not. You get 25% off. Okay. And so you're going to pay 25% of the cost of the product in order to give it to them for half price. Most of the time they pick something for like $30. They don't pick the cookware. Okay. I'm telling you, this works. I've done it for over 30 years it works. It's never been an issue. In my 35 years, nobody said, okay, for my last item, I want this one for half price. Well, if they're not going to take 4 sets of cookware for half price, okay? They're just not going to do it. If they do that, celebrate and pay it out, all right? Because they had a really big party. But that's not going to happen. So I always offer, well, you know what? Go ahead and schedule. I'll give you any product in the catalog for half price for scheduling today. Oh, by the way, I forgot to tell you, I do that at my vendor events too. So when they're like on the fence and they're like, I'm down to that last question, if you do it during the day or in the evening, say, you know what, if you schedule from the show today, we're allowed to offer you any item for half price in the catalog, any item in the large catalog for half price. So it's kind of an extra bonus. But I just have to have a date. And if you choose the date today and you have to change it, I'm allowed to change it once in the system. Now, where's the system? In my date book, okay? But they don't know that. They don't know that I go in and plug it in. So you always just say, I'm allowed to change it once in the system. Girlfriends, I have used these word choices for 35 years. It works. Just try it, okay? And so write these ideas down because I don't have them written down. And when you do write them down, send them to me, okay? The other thing is when you do make this vendor box, you're thinking, what am I going to do with this vendor box? You're going to take this vendor box out and you're going to go to places you already service. For instance, my dentist office. And I go in and I've been there for how many years, okay? And I go in and say, hey, I'm doing a promotion for the month and we're having a special going on. And I am challenged to collect, I don't know, you could say I'm challenged to collect, new customers in my database. And so I'm offering to anybody that will put one of my vendor boxes in their office for 30 days, free Tupperware for your office here at the dentist office. I'll give you free Tupperware for the kitchen. And so all I ask is you put this out and they get to fill out the slip if they want to, and they can give me their information and their digits and take a free gift if they want to. And here's some catalogs for them. And so I deliver and I treat, this is my dentist office. I want to give him the best. And so I've got catalogs in there. And what I do is I take little clear bags and I put catalogs in there. I put a flyer in there. I put the citrus pillar tied to it with the little bow with that. Remember, I threaded it already with their little coupon. And I put that in there. And anybody that fills out the slip can take one of these. And you are going to collect people that are interested in you. They're going to fill out their information. They're going to put it in the box. You can even say if they prefer, they can just throw their business card in there. That's perfectly okay too. However, my drawing slips that I have for them to fill out, I prefer that they do that. They don't always, but I'm just interested in getting their information. So it doesn't really matter. My drawing slips actually have, in fact, I pulled it up on the screen. I don't know if you can see it. Let me see if you can see it. I can't reverse this. So let me see. Can you see that? There's my drawing slip. I don't know if you can see it. Could you see it? I don't know if you can see it. But what I do is my vendor slip, and I can send this out to you guys. And you trust me, it's not the the drawing slip that makes the magic. It's you that makes the magic, but I'll send it out, okay? But I have 10 through 1. And so instead of circling, writing on a line yes or no or maybe or something like that, I do like to say, just circle, when they're filling out the slip. I do like the other slip that says I can be bribed. That's a good slip too. But this one I like because it has 10 most interested and 2 least interested in the questions that I'm asking them. And when they go to fill this out and they're filling out the top of the slip, and here's how I get them to fill out the slip. Say, you know what? If you want to, you can fill out our slip. We're giving away free Tupperware. And if you give me your email address, you go in a newsletter. And you only get it once a month, but it does come with recipes. Now, when I say you only get it once a month, I act like that's a downside because they need to know I'm not going to send them tons of emails. I say, well, you only get it once a month. And they're thinking, okay, good then. Okay. But I'm acting like it's a downside. I know it's a bummer, but because I want to set the mindset, I'm acting the way I want them to respond. Okay. And so I say, well, you only get it once a month, but it does come with recipes and you'll love that. So it's always got recipes in it. And so when I send that, that's for the Tupper Trends. When they're filling that part out at the top of the slip. And as they fill that out, I'm standing there instead of me not talking, and I don't want to interrupt them, obviously. When they start to fill the part out where I'm asking them, hosting a girls' friends night out party, where you receive free gifts, or hosting a cooking class or anything like that, instead of not talking while they're doing that, I want to keep it lighthearted still, and I want to keep it fun and no pressure. I would say something like, oh, the bottom part, if you don't fill out any of those, we just assume you want them all. So, and they're like, what? Or I say something like, you know what, if you schedule on there that you want to have a cooking class, I'll come. And they're like, dude, you're the Tupperware lady. But it's just the fun that you put in there that makes them laugh, and it gives them energy. It gives them fun, okay? Because if you're tense and you're so worried, are they going to date? Are they going to date? Guess what? They're not. They feel it. The karma that you put in that booth is horrible, and they won't even stop. And if they do stop, they leave. You've got to have fun. You got to be the girlfriend. You've got to be acting like this is a girl you went to high school with. And, you guys have been some places and she knows way too much about you. And, you want to make sure she loves you forever. And so you treat her like that. You have fun with her. You enjoy her. You're making that connection. And I want to tell you something. People don't buy from salespeople. So you can't be a salesperson. They buy from friends. They buy, even when I go to Dillard's, I look for the girl that I buy from all the time because she's my girlfriend. We've made a connection. She knows me. Okay? So you got to connect. You've got to connect. You've got to find something in common. You've got to connect. And so she's filling that out. You might even say, so what's your daughter's name? She is adorable. Oh my goodness. I have one girl, 2 boys, and I'll tell you, there's nothing like a daughter. And you're connecting. So you're connecting on something totally not Tupperware, okay? Make sure that you're getting to know them and they're getting to know you. A little bit about you. I told her I had a daughter. I have 2 boys and a daughter. She knows I'm human, okay? Or you might say something like, oh, did you go to Brunswick? Because her daughter has a little Brunswick shirt on or something like that. Did you go to Brunswick? And she goes, yeah. And I'll go, really, what year did you graduate? My kids are probably your age. And I want to connect, okay? And a lot of times that's a good thing and not a good thing. It depends on which son. No kidding. It's always a good thing. Okay. And so you are the most important thing that even with this call today, you keep it light. Enjoy. Think about where you're going and where you're going to be someday. And you know what? If they say no, you got the next person to go to. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter the outcome. It really doesn't matter because there's more. This world is so big. It's so big. It doesn't matter the outcome today. And I want to tell you that whatever you do today is not going to show up for 3 weeks. And so if you need money in 3 weeks to pay an insurance bill, you need to work today. You don't wait for 3 weeks to work, okay? Because everything takes time to evolve and to get into your day. When you go get a full-time job and you work for 2 weeks and you get paid in 2 weeks, it's kind of like that in Tupperware. You can go out and make a little bit of money today, but basically what really happens is the main stuff comes in 3 weeks, okay? And that's for your personal business. And if you're building a team, and you're a unit manager, it takes about 3 months to really turn around what you're doing today to work, okay? And if you're a team where you're a director, it can take longer. It can take 6 months, okay, to really turn that around. But doesn't mean you don't start working at it now and start turning it around now, okay? And so when they filled out that door price slip or you put these door price slips inside that bin, then you need to make callbacks, right? So callbacks are fun. And don't be afraid of callbacks. They want you. They wouldn't have given you their digits if they didn't want you or didn't expect a call. So if you don't make the call, then you've chosen not to make the call and you've chosen not to service them and you've chosen not to be successful in this business and you've chosen to be selfish because, oh, what about me? What about me? And what if I get embarrassed? What if I say the wrong things? What if I don't do this right? Oh, poor little you. Get over it, Buttercup. All right. So you're going to think about when I succeed, I'm going to do this. And you need to always think about the ultimate, when this happens, I'm going to get this. And you also need to think about something else. When it doesn't happen, I'm going to get this. And so what happens if you don't succeed in Tupperware? What happens if you're not able to make the mortgage payment? What happens if you're not able to make the car payment? What happens if you're not successful in Tupperware? That can be sobering. And that can be really an eye-opener. And that can drive you like crazy because you know what? You know you can make it happen because you can if you think you can. And so make it happen, guys. The other thing I want to tell you is that lead box, you can tell them for a week or a month. You can use a gift box or you can use a piece of Tupperware. You want to keep it simple, keep it clean, easy read sign on it so that people know what they're doing with it. And so the gift box can be a real fun thing. A mystery hostess is another thing you can do. And you're making phone calls back to people. You can say, you know what, I'm doing a mystery hostess and I wanted to see if you got my catalog and my the flyer and wanted to see if there was anything in there that you might be interested or if you have any product in your home, and I always say this last, or if you have any product in your home that needs to be serviced, because our product has a lifetime guarantee, and I really like to find that product out there in the field, and so I can replace it for you for free. I'm doing an event, and it's a mystery hostess, and it's going to be at our studio on Thursday night. I'd love you to bring anything you have there. Or you're doing an event, it's at the, at the hall, at the city hall. I'm going to be there on Thursday night. I would love you to bring anything you have broken with you. Do you have anything right now, or do you know if your friends have anything that's broken, cracked, split, peeled, chipped, or broken from Tupperware? And I'll tell you, I have used service to gain customers for years and years and years. Because why? People don't want to be sold to, but they love to buy. And so what they want to do is they want to see it, but they don't want to be sold to. And so if you go in as a service and you want to take care of their stuff they already have, they're going to love you. And when you can give them a new product because something's broken in the corner, you know how many people don't know Tupperware's got a guarantee? I'm telling you, a lot. And so you've got to find those people and service them. Even when you're working the booth, say, do you have any Tupperware? And they like, yeah, I have a ton. And say, well, our product has a lifetime guarantee. If you ever need me, keep my catalog because I will take care of your product for you. And so what I do as a free service at my events is there's no shipping because they're going to pick it up from me again. Okay. And so this is this month's event, and you pick it up at next month's event, and there's no charge for you. Now, if you want this shipped to you directly, I can do that. And there's a $7 charge for that. It's just direct shipping to your front door. Right? There's no reason for me to pay that $7 when I already offered it for free, right? Right. And so when I do these events, whether I'm doing an event there or I'm making phone calls and I'm offering this free service, I want you to know I never take advantage of Tupperware. I always go by the book. I replace things that are replaceable, and if it's not replaceable, I sometimes will take it and say, let me check with Tupperware and see what happens. And then I have this little label that I put on there and say, I'm sorry, this wasn't covered. And that makes it look official, like it went into the office, because it did, mine. And you can make a little label that says, this is not covered under our normal use and care, or something like that. I don't want to abuse Tupperware, because I always think of it as, I wouldn't want a customer to abuse me, and I know it's a bigger picture, but if we all do it, we all suffer, and pretty soon we're not going to have the awards that Tupperware can offer, or pretty soon they're not going to offer the lifetime guarantee or something like that because it didn't work out, because people like us didn't do it right. And so I like to honor Tupperware in doing everything right, and so I never feel guilty, and I can sleep at night. And plus, I believe I'll stand before the Lord someday, and I'm not standing up there for broken Tupperware. Okay, it's not happening. All right? But also, I just believe that I need to take care of Tupperware. I need to take care of them like they take care of me. So I do it by the book. All right? Now, to keep from having friction, take it. You can say, let me check. I don't think this is covered, but, I'll check. And I'll tell you why I do that is because how many times you've been shopping for something and you saw something and you wanted more of it, and she goes, no, everything's out. You're like, listen, woman, go check. Okay. And so I say, well, let me check. All right. Now I know I'm the ultimate decision maker, and I know that, what's covered and what isn't covered. It's the courtesy of winning her over and connecting with her. And plus, this is the time when I've got this broken Tupperware and I'm replacing it, that I'm going to date a party with her. And ultimately, if I've got something of hers and she wants it replaced and it really isn't covered, but I personally feel like it's going to be worth it for me to replace it for her, I might even replace it for her, because I ended up dating 2 parties from it, or I ended up having a $1,000 party in that time span or whatever. And I may give it to her and say, you know what, this wasn't covered, but I wanted to take care of it for you because you've been such a good friend. And that's okay. That's okay, because she knows now that it's not covered, but I did it because I could, because I would, because I wanted to build the business. I wanted to build the relationship. And I want you to know something. Still today, I have customers that call me and want me to be their Tupperware lady. And I haven't done in-home parties. I do them, once or twice a year, 3 times a year, and it's usually my family. But those customers that I've kind of like tried to turn over to some of the other sales force at Champion are still coming back and remembering the Tupperware parties with me because of the service and the friendship, the fun, the energy, and that's what you have to develop. And if you don't have it, you fake it till you make it, because it's going to make you money. All right. And there's times when in my mind, I was not Pam Clift. I was the actress. I was that perfect Tupperware lady. And I would say to myself, what would the perfect Tupperware lady do today? And I would start doing it because I was an actress. And it was easy for me to do when I was so unbelievably insecure that I couldn't find it within myself to do it, I could be the actress and I could pretend like I was her. And you know what? Sometimes you just need to do that. You need to fake it till you make it. And girlfriend, you can. And so I want you to dig deep. I want you to get the attitude. I want you to know the word choices. I want you to have fun. And I want you to go offer today. Offer, offer, offer. Thank you guys. I hope you had a really terrific day, the rest of the day. And think of all the things that you have to offer for people. And I want you to know that every morning, a gazelle in Africa wakes up and it knows it must run faster than the fastest lion or it will die. And every morning, a lion wakes up and knows that it must outrun the slowest gazelle or it will starve. It doesn't matter whether you're the lion or the gazelle. You need to get up and run every day. Work this business every day. It's your job every day. You don't sell Tupperware. Your job is to date parties. Your job is to bring people into the business. Tupperware will sell through the system, through the constant same thing every day. I hope you guys had a really, really, really great morning already. And if it's already noon for you, go eat lunch. If it's early, get excited, get motivated, and offer. Thank you guys. Bye-bye.